Hey guys, good to see you. And if you could do me a quick favor, let me know in the comments if you could hear me okay. If you could just type yes, I'd super appreciate it. So if you don't know me, my name is Brian Bowman, and I help e-commerce sellers build profitable and predictable revenue in their business, but probably not the way that you might expect. I'm going to talk about that a little bit here. Before we get started, if you'd like to learn more about what we do, and if you'd like access to our full community, all of our training, just an amazing group of sellers to be around, plus all of our training that walks you through how to do all the stuff I'll be talking about today, you can go to 10daytrial.com. That's 10-day trial, as in a free 10-day trial to our community. Check it out, see if it's for you, see if it's something that you'd like to be a part of. You can go there, 10-day trial, and check it all out there. So most of my clients come to me because they are looking for more profitability and more predictability in their business. They already have either a brand established, they already have a product, or they have a clear idea on the product that they want to sell. And they're looking to get traction, either initial traction to get their business started, or they've already sort of tapped out what they believe was kind of the first phase of how to get traffic, how to get sales, whatever that might have been, maybe Facebook ads or Instagram or Google or whatever they did, or influencer marketing. They got some traction, but now they're looking for the next level of traction. So those are usually the clients that'll come to me, and they are frustrated because they can't get that traction, right? They're trying to figure out, all right, how do we actually scale, or how do we actually kick off this thing and get off to a big start? And the main thing that it always comes down to, and my advice to everyone, to my clients and students who come to me who are in this position, is always the same. You have to get traction through your audience. You have to put in the time and put in the strategies to build up your audience, because from that audience is where you're going to get your initial batch of sales. From that audience is where you're going to get insight on future products, next things to do, what are their concerns, what other problems do they want you to solve, or what other aspirations do they have that you could go find the products to help solve that for them and get them there. And also is, once you have gotten the customers, that's where you're going to be able to launch new products and continue to get traction. Now, there's lots of different ways to build audiences. I have a few of my favorites. I'm going to talk to you about one of them here in a second, but the main point is we want to get our traction initially and continue to get our traction through building our audiences. If you look at any of the successful brands out there, I talked about a great example about Harry's Razors and how they built up, I think it was something like 100,000 fans, a list of 100,000 people. They built up an audience of 100,000 people before they actually launched. And that's why they went from basically like 0 to 60, like instantly, right out of the gate. And you can keep going back to the well, right? You can keep going back to that audience. It's not a one and done like running some ads. Once you have that audience, you start nurturing that relationship. There's 5 core functions of your business. There's your leads, your audience. You have to nurture that audience. You have to make sales. You have to deliver on your product, and you have to have your retention, upsells, and resells in the back end. But it all starts with your audience. So I'm going to talk real quick about one of my favorites. Again, this is not the only way to build an audience, but it absolutely is one of my favorites. And that's Facebook Messenger marketing. Now, you may have heard of it. You may have already dove into it or tried it, but I can tell you the numbers are staggering, and we're still in the infancy of this platform, of this messaging platform. If you look at the top messaging platforms in the world, the first is WhatsApp, the next is Facebook Messenger, and both of those are owned by Facebook. And it's no coincidence, because the engagement on these apps, there's more people that are actively every month using Facebook Messenger than are using Facebook, the actual app. So it's staggering the amount of engagement and the audience that you can build. Because again, it's not just the numbers, it's not just the number of people, it's how engaged are they. And if you look at the numbers on Messenger, I mean, we're still seeing 70% open rates, we're still seeing 20-30% click-through rates. So for that reason alone, it's one of my favorite platforms. And that's a strategy that we've used very, very effectively. So I had a client that was in the fitness niche, and they were launching a brand from scratch. They literally, before we started working together, they weren't even sure what they wanted to do exactly. They knew they wanted to do something in fitness. And we ended up developing out this plan and building up the audience. That was the first thing we did. because we knew if we had the audience, we had everything else. If we had the attention and we had the goodwill built up, we could eventually make offers. We could convert that into sales and revenue and recurring sales. So that's the first thing we did. We built up a messenger list. I think in about 7 to 8 weeks, we had built up almost 20,000 people. And that formed like the first influx of traffic. That was the first bit of traction when they launched the brand. And that has continued to be a source of traction, a source of traffic for them. And again, it's a great place to get ideas and products and like what else do people want? And ultimately build your raving fans. Like ultimately you want to go from an audience to a tribe of raving fans. These are people who are going to be your brand ambassadors. These are people who are going to share your products for you. And the long tail of that, like the long run of that is incredible. You can run some ads today and that's great and get some sales. But in the long run, you really want to play the long game, and building up those raving fans is how you're going to ultimately scale your business. And that all starts with the audience. So the point is, if you want to get traction either initially as a brand, or if you want to get traction after you've already established yourself and you want to now like scale up, like where do we go next? It always goes back to the fundamentals. And the first thing is, let's make sure we're building an audience that we can build that relationship with and build goodwill. And one of my favorites is Facebook Messenger. It's not the only one at all by any means, but it is one of my favorites and one that deserves your attention, and I always point my clients towards. If you'd actually like full access to our training, I have a full training, full on, not like mini course, like a full on Facebook Messenger marketing training, walks you through everything A to Z from beginning to advanced strategies. That's actually a part of our e-commerce seller community called The Underground. If you'd like a free 10-day full access trial, you can go to 10daytrial.com. That's 10daytrial.com. You can get all the info there. You can sign up, and would love to see you on the other side. So again, go build your audiences, get your traction, scale your brand, and I will talk to you in the next video. All right, talk soon. Bye.